How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm that fishing noob out here on the little pond. Got with me my kayak, 2 rods. It's a Lifetime Teton Angler kayak. Got with me my Daiwa BG 3000 little paddle tail, and my Shimano SLX DC top water little booyah frog. I'm going to be reviewing this kayak today, see if it's still worth it in the year of 2023. You know what time it is. See you guys out on the water. Whew. It's a nice calm morning today. The question today is: a Lifetime Teton Angler still worth it in the year of 2023? Short answer, yes. Gonna go over some pros, some cons, things I like, things I don't like. So some overall stats of the kayak. This is a 10-foot even sit on top kayak. I think the price point of it fluctuates between like $400 and $500. Say it's an entry-level kayak. It's not as cheap as some other ones, but we'll go over some of the features. So things that this kayak comes with 2 already accessory tracks for you to go through and mount any kind of accessories, which is really nice. If you're looking to add any kind of rod holders, any kind of paddle holders, or any kind of other accessories that go on a track, you're gonna need an accessory track, and it's nice to have one already here installed so you don't have to worry about drilling. They are recessed as well, so they sit flush with the kayak, which is nice. Other than that, there are grab handles, one at the front, one at the back, and 2 on the sides. These grab handles for me have been pretty sturdy. I haven't had to do any kind of adjusting or any kind of modifying. They've not come loose on me. There is this mold right here to hold your paddle, but I never ever use it. Whenever I'm out on the water fishing, my paddle is just sitting in my lap. Another nice thing about this kayak is there are 2 rod holders that are already installed. So one of them is right here, right behind the seat. The other one is on the other side, also right behind the seat. This kayak does also come with a really nice mesh comfortable seat, and that is going to be one huge deciding factor on newer kayaks, or whenever you're trying to make a purchase of getting a kayak, is being comfortable on the kayak. Depending on, you know, whenever you're out there fishing, the last thing you want to worry about, or the last thing you want to experience, is discomfort, where it's like your back is aching, your body's aching because you're just uncomfortable. You have an uncomfortable seat. For this kayak, the one that I have, there is no storage as far as in the hull. There's no storage like a center hatch, or a front hatch, or a rear hatch. There's this little recess area right here for another rod holder you can drill in, and then this little cutout in the middle for a water bottle or any other random stuff that you want to carry in the middle with you. You got bungees up front, bungees in the back, and there are 6 scupper holes. The only scuppers that I have plugged right now are the ones under my seat. The ones in front right here and the ones in the back are just open. I think this kayak weighs just around 50 pounds, maybe 50, 52 pounds or so. So it's not that heavy. On your left side, you do have this bungee to go through and hold your paddle. And when I bought this, the paddle was not included, so that's something that I had to buy myself. I've had this kayak for maybe 3-4 years, and I've had it out in the sun. I car top it, and this thing has been awesome. There hasn't been any kind of fading, there hasn't been any kind of issues that I've seen from the kayak itself. Some quick pros and cons of the kayak. Pros: it's lightweight, easy to car top, easy to transport by yourself. It is pretty affordable, so it'll get you out on the water. And the great thing about kayak fishing is you can access anywhere on the water, like anywhere. You see a spot and you're just like, okay, go, I'm gonna go over there and fish it. Once you go kayak fishing, you're not gonna want to go back to anything else. The freedom that this allows, it provides, is amazing. This kayak already comes ready for accessories. So back when I was first starting, I didn't really care about accessories. Oh, that wrapped around a couple times. That's gonna be a mess to... Nope, never mind. I didn't really care about accessories. Like, I wasn't looking to get any kind of extra things, but now that I've been fishing for a while, there are other accessories that I want, and I'm realizing how important it is to have an accessory track already. A huge pro for this kayak is going to be the seat. The seat is one of the most comfortable kayak seats that you can get at an entry level. It's better than the classic, not classic, but the other option of just sitting on top of the flesh of the kayak pretty much. I've heard lots of complaints with that kind of seat. But this seat is comfortable. It's a really nice seat. I think the longest I fished on this kayak was like 10 hours. And there was some minor discomforts like in my lower back, just from sitting the whole time. But it was towards the latter half of the trip. Another pro is rod holders. It has 2 rod holders, which is always nice. You know, when I first started kayak fishing, I only had 1 rod. And then of course, because of the hobby, the addiction, 1 rod grew to like 4 rods, with more hopefully down the pipeline. Some cons of the kayak. Yes, this comes with rod holders, but the position of them is a con for me. I don't like that. So you can see on this rod, when it's sitting in, it sits out at like a 45-degree angle. So if you have a longer paddle, like, you might smack your rod whenever you're aggressively paddling. Or one thing that I do sometimes, if I'm not really paying too close attention, if I'm out here with 3 rods and I have, you know, both of my spare rods and the rod holders, sometimes whenever I'm making this overhand cast this way, my lure will get caught up in that rod. Another con along with the rod holders is that the screws that they use to go through and secure the rod holders, the heads of the screws are too small. So whenever I've done that, I've ripped the rod holder out of the kayak because the heads are too small to hold the actual rod holders in. So on this side, I added these little washers to go through and provide more surface area to hold that down. Another con is from factory, there is no in-hull storage. So no rear hatch, no front hatch to go through and store like a dry bag or store any kind of like safety, first aid stuff. Another thing is there's no under the seat storage. So if you do a rear riser on the seat, you can get some more storage, but there's really, like right now, just coming from factory, I don't have any storage underneath my seat really. Like there's a void, like a space where I'm currently keeping a bag of soft plastics, my scale, and some other things. But the bad thing with that is it's not really the most organized, and it's kind of difficult to try to get things out whenever I need it. Now, it doesn't track the best. Tracking is not one of these kayak strong suits, and I'm finding that unless your kayak has a rudder of some sort that you can control and steer with, then tracking is not going to be that good. So whenever there's any kind of current or anything, I'm having to constantly adjust my direction with my paddles. We're here going through and paddling out. Doesn't take much effort to get this thing going. Sorry, Nut. And once you're going, you're going. Like I said, so right there, kind of peeling off to the left right here, course correct. Peeling off to the right. So tracking isn't the best, but like I said, for what it is, unless you have an external or another rudder or a rudder, then tracking is going to be pretty lackluster in majority of kayaks. So it's not really a breaking point. It's not something that's going to make or break this. Biggest things, seat is comfortable, this thing is stable. So if you're new to kayaking, like when you first get on the kayak, it's going to feel weird. Like you're going to have to find a new sense of balance if you don't already have a sense of balance for things on the water. So like skimboarding or surfing requires a different balance being out in the water. But once you get over that initial, like you're sitting in it and it's like, all right, cool. So this is what it feels like to be out on the water, be out on the boat. on a little kayak, then it's good. Like, I can go through, rock back and forth like this. There's movement, but I mean, like I said, whenever I've gone through, I've hooked up on fish, landed fish. I haven't felt like, oh man, I'm gonna tip. Overall, I don't really have a whole lot of gripes about this kayak. It's blue, which is nice. It's really not a huge deciding factor, but I do like the color. I mean, it does the job. It accomplishes the goal of being able to get out on the water and fish from a kayak. I've pulled in some decent fish from here, and like I said, whenever I've been wrestling them or we've been getting them on board, I haven't felt tip happy. I haven't felt like I was going to go down and swim with the fishes. So overall, is this kayak worth it in 2023? If it's in your budget, say so. Yeah, for sure. And the biggest thing too is the seat. The seat on this thing is amazing. The seat is one thing that you don't want to cheap out on, because the last thing you want is to have paddled a couple miles away from wherever it is that you launched, and once you're finished with the fishing trip and it's time to go back to launch, and you're dreading it, and you're tired, your back hurts, your body's achy. Having a comfortable seat really makes a huge difference. And like I said, this thing's been stable. I don't have all of my gear with me, but I mean, whenever I've had to go through and mess with things in the front, that's been good. Whenever I've had to turn around the back and access, you know, my milk crate, my backpack, retrieve any kind of random things that I have back here, I've been able to turn around, access whatever it is that I need back here, flip back, recenter, and then continue fishing or continue doing whatever it is that I'm doing. Can you stand up and fish in this? I'd say that anything is possible if you really want it, but I wouldn't recommend it. This is not the most stable platform. I would not recommend this as a platform, period, for stand-up fishing. So if you're looking to stand up and fish while out in the kayak, this is not a good option. You could do it, I guess, but you're going to be struggling. It's going to be like, oh crap, please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall. And if you hook up on a fish, that's even more like, oh crap, I'm gonna fall. It's doable, but it's not going to be easy by any means. So overall, I would definitely recommend this kayak. I started on a Lifetime Tamarack, but didn't have accessory tracks, wanted a different layout, wanted a better seat. So overall, this kayak is phenomenal. It's a great intro, great get your feet wet kayak. Accomplishes the goal of getting out on the water, providing you a stable platform while sitting down to go through and fish. It's easy to go through and transport by yourself, load it up on the roof of a car, or if you have a truck, loading into the back of the truck would be super simple, like no issue at all. If there's any specific questions that you have about this kayak, then drop them in the comment section. I'd be happy to answer whatever questions you have. So whenever I have this kayak fully loaded, if I'm catching and keeping fish, I have a fish cooler right here in the front. Just kind of give you an idea of all this can hold. If I'm fishing with multiple rods, I'll have a Yak Attack Omega rod holder. It's only on this side. On this side, on the back, I have my milk crate with a backpack full of all my tackle, my little Plano boxes, and then also if I want to, I can bring a small cooler, so I can fit both a milk crate back here and a small cooler on the back end of that. And then of course I have my other things, fishing scale, pliers. Now with the added weight, you can definitely feel like the kayak's heavier, so it's a little more difficult to paddle, but not difficult overall. If this video helped you out, I would appreciate it if you showed some support. Hit the like button, and say even if you're just watching this just to watch it for whatever random reason that you're watching it, I'd still appreciate some support by hitting the like button. That'd be cool. There's a fish. Not a bad one. This guy's probably just under a pound. Oh. He is 1 pound, 1.14. Beautiful fish right there. Look at it release. Woo! Still trying to figure out the best netting techniques with this. Go through, scoop them up, and normally I would hold the net and kind of pin it under my leg like this, but that doesn't really work now. So maybe that would work. Well, it looks like that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you for coming along today. If you haven't already, hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing for some more. Show them some support that way. That would be cool. Drop your comments down below. Say what's up. Like I said, if you have any specific questions about the kayak, then let me know. And I will do my best to go through and answer them. But things are coming along today. Hope that you are able to go fishing. And if you are fishing, hope that you're able to catch a big one. I'll catch you guys on the next one. God is good. Y'all be blessed. Later.